Hello. Welcome to the Run Amok Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Run Amok Podcast, home to the best Bachelor recaps on this side of Croatia. As always, I'm your host, David Stalton, joined alongside me by one of two loyal compadres today,
right.
Carson Cooper, filling in for producer Gary, who is away in some town with 6 people in it.
Yeah, don't really know.
Yeah, visiting his girlfriend's hometown, if you can call it a town. I like to call it perhaps a settlement.
A village, yeah.
A village.
Is even pushing it.
Perhaps I think it's literally just a caravan. I think that's what we call it. It's a group.
It's on the move.
yeah. Who knows where he's at right now? But he started up north. I think they're coming down south, and they're trying to.
Next time he goes, he won't even know where that's going to be yet. Hasn't been planned out yet.
Yeah. So producer Gary is with a band of gypsies at the moment, and it's me and Coop to recap the latest, and I was going to say the latest and greatest episode of The Bachelor. Hey, can we just be honest with the people? Tough season to end on. Me and producer Gary watched the episode together last night. I went back to our hometown this past weekend. Got to see Coop. Got to see Gary. It was a fun time. I thought, okay, you know what? I'm home on the Monday. Let's watch the episode together, dude. We just kept saying, man, what if we ended the podcast on Michelle's season? Wow, wouldn't it have been wouldn't have that been great?
Going out on a high, that's for sure.
I mean, we're dealing with, like, I think we like Peter the least, but we're dealing with the dumbest Bachelor ever. Like,
yes. Absolutely. Still, Peter
knew what he was doing. He's like, yeah, I don't care about the process. I just want to smooch and sleep with as many women as possible. That's not honorable, but at least it's like a set decision, and he's going in a certain direction.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
At least there was some structure in his own mind.
Somehow Clayton is completely unpredictable, which we did expect. We said this is going to be a wild season, but it's in the least entertaining way possible. It's just frustrating at every turn. So, like we said last week, before we jump into everything, I think at this point in the podcast, we don't need to ask people to like, subscribe, or share with friends. If you're listening to the pod, you are who you are. You know what I mean? And we're going to enjoy the rest of the season. But we announced last time, just due to strict work, like career obligations and passions outside of work and those sorts of things, we have too many balls in the air right now, all three of us, and so we just can't do the podcast, and also a lot of infighting between us as well. It's mostly
Hence
that.
why Gary's not here right now.
One at a time. No. So we got some very, very nice feedback, and we really, really appreciate that. We're gonna limp through this season with you. If you want to get at least a little bit of commentary on Clayton's decisions, or at least maybe get a guy's perspective on what he could possibly be thinking, join us for the ride. And some people gave us some nice feedback last time. Just a lot of regular listeners, some that jumped on last season, just saying, "Hey, good luck in your future endeavors. Love the pod." Coop, did I tell you about any of these?
I don't think I heard any of these.
Okay, because they were. Hey, let me start off. I'm just going to give some shout. So we'll start off with also peek behind the curtain, people. I'm producing this episode.
It's already off to a rough
already off the rails, but we're going to
stop recording. Yeah,
we're going to cut out what just happened. But so I want to give a shout out to Brianna's Bachelor Breakdowns again. I told everyone, Coop, last week to just go, all of our subs, sub to her. Go over to her. And if she ever wants any of us, like in future seasons, hey, I need a guest. I want a guest for an episode. Brianna, hit us up. I'd be happy to jump on a pod. I'm sure you would too.
I think we all would be. Yeah,
exactly. But so go follow her. Also, Shawanda, she jumped in our live streams all the time. She's the best. She gave us some nice feedback. Sarah Rose, who's our informant on the inside, always giving the tidbits. She just gave one the other day. I haven't responded to it yet, but very good. Niece King and Deborah, two people that subbed recently, but very active. Awesome. But last shout out, Ruth, baby. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I believe so. Yes.
I'm not going to go long on this, but basically, this is someone who commented a few weeks ago. She was like, "You guys talk too much and give your opinions too much." And
that's what a podcast
and I mean this in the nicest way possible. Maybe podcasts just aren't for you, Ruth, because that's kind of all it is. Maybe.
Ruth didn't say good riddance or anything like that, did they?
Oh, I think I might actually be verbatim what she said last episode. So, yeah, she basically came on and she said, "You guys always call me names, so good riddance. I won't miss you." There were a lot of typos in there, but I'm cleaning it up and just for the clarity. But hey, Ruth, we never called you names. I'm just saying, maybe recaps aren't for you. If you just want the show as is.
And listen, you will miss us because you keep coming back.
You keep coming back.
You clearly keep coming back.
You can follow me at the Big D Stall on Instagram, Ruth, and you can get updates on my life. And
yeah, you don't even get to know mine.
I'll follow you
my
back.
handle.
Maybe we can bridge this gap and get a dialogue going. I think too much divisiveness in the world, Ruth. We got to mend this fence before the podcast ends. But guys, let's jump in. So full disclosure, again, this is why we podcast is running out. Coop didn't have time to watch this week's episode. So how it's going to work is I diligent note taking. I'm really going to explain to you the scenario, Coop. Yeah. And Clayton, this season, the contestants. You fire back at me. You let me know if you disagree. You let me know your thoughts on the things I'm describing to you. But first things first, Sarah Rose, I know you threw this in your comment. We had an announcement on Twitter beforehand, Coop, from a producer of the show being like, "Oh, this episode, there's going to be an announcement."
I saw the historic announcement. Yeah.
Now, sometimes me and Gary talk about the show, right? So
sure.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Did I completely miss it? I've been on like the Bachelor Instagrams and like all the like Bachelor fan take, Bachelor windmill, all the pages.
Yeah.
Was there an announcement?
Well, no, I I don't know if it was just a joke, but I saw someone follow up to like the initial post.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like whatever the initial post was, the same source like replied to it, and it was just like a nothing tweet. So like what was the point of that?
You can't do that. There should be something illegal about announcing at the end of this episode.
Yes.
There's going. Yeah, I think there.
In fact,
should
I'm going to do a quick. I'm going to do a quick search as we speak.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be awesome because maybe I missed something, and that's totally fair. But I said to Gary as we were watching, I said, I think we're just getting baited into sticking around for another episode, and that is just their recipe for viewership this season. Like it.
Oh, I found out what. Oh yeah, this is what it said. It said that Clayton's season of The Bachelor is spoiler proof.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
I saw that too. Bro, so that means probably a failure.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't scream he's found a partner that he's sticking with. If it's
crumbled.
Unpredictable. All healthy marriages come with a complete unpredictable ending. Yeah. So okay, I think he just told us what we already knew. But we kick it off with the rose ceremony, Coop. And last week we saw Mara. Last week I was messing up her name a lot. Kept wanting to call her Mara. I think because of Marie, but it's Mara, as in marinara sauce. So that's in my brain now. Mara and Sarah were beefing because Sarah's the youngest, Mara's the oldest. There was a bit of a clash, bit of tension. Apparently, Sarah is acting a little apparently very cocky, extremely cocky, to the point where other girls like Rachel, like Teddy, like real contenders, thought they had no chance and were apparently ready to take themselves off the show. We get there. We'll get to that, but that was really the crux of the episode. The only interesting part of this episode for me. But we start off with Mara, and she's wearing straight up villain attire. It's an interesting dress, a lot of wild, bold cuts in it.
Is it black?
Oh, it's black. Kind of looks like maybe she caught it on a nail on the way in and it just split on a random part. It was a kind of a wild look, but it fit the narrative. Sometimes I'm wondering though, do you want to if they want someone to look a certain way in an edit, do you think, because they bring their own dresses, the people who aren't contestants, but do you think a stylist goes, sorry, there's some commotion going down on the street downstairs. Yeah, we got a lot of honking going on. People aren't happy.
Convoys going by.
Yeah, exactly. And so, do you think they go? Oh, maybe go with the thing with the long black overarching hood. Maybe go with the long black caped hood.
Dude, I fully think they supplement like outfits for contestants. 100%.
Too, I don't think they could bring all of those.
There's no way.
Like,
There's
you
no
mean
way.
through if they keep going through the season, like they start peppering in more dresses for
Exactly.
people
I
to go
think
far.
definitely like the first few episodes, like when you're the show's obviously not going to have like outfits for all 30 or 20 people
Yes.
for the first little bit, but I think the further you get will becomes kind of a more refined group of people left.
Yeah.
I 100% think that they start kind of picking their outfits for them.
Yeah. And dude, we also have an awesome Clayton moment. I don't know if many people, because it was so like, he means it so innocently, but it just shows how disconnected he is from like reality and the rest of the house. Dude, a week full of drama, like a week full of like people are in tears. People have been sent home early. You've had a 2-on-1 date. There's just nonsense everywhere. He walks in before the roast ceremony and goes, "Oh, man, I'm just so glad we could really have a nice, calm, perfect week." Called it a perfect week. Bro, what show are you watching? You learn later that there were multiple women ready to take themselves out. And you, I nailed it
like
again.
He's happy.
Am I
he's
right,
like,
ladies? Like, put up your hand if I didn't make out with you. Am I right? I've been crushing it all week. So he walks in, and we do get a couple losses. My girl Liza.
Liza.
I mean, I kind of realized after episode 3 or 4, like that was a shot in the dark draft pick. Not really going to happen, unfortunately. Really. Didn't really have a hope. But I think she'll definitely be in Paradise. She seems super nice.
I agree. Paradise. Can we agree that we say that far too often about contestants? Like the amount of people we've said definitely gonna be on Paradise constitutes way more than we'll ever be on the beach.
I kind of disagree. I agree.
I feel like we throw that out a ton.
But I think we do throw it out a ton.
I think there's definitely
Cassidy. We've said she'll be on Paradise.
She'll be there. I think there's a lot of
Marlena.
I think there's a lot of agreed. A lot of Paradise caliber people. Absolutely. I just think the sheer number that we've said it about, it
also feels like a really nice consolation prize on their way out. You know what I mean? Be like, you'll be on Paradise.
Yeah.
Same with Mara. I think Mara would be good on Paradise.
They're not looking for love. They'll be a good drama starter, pretty much.
That's someone who could use a bigger pool of people to just up their chances of someone loving them. Like, it's such a backhanded thing. Like, no, you need a full beach full of potential suitors. If you nail it down to one, your odds are not good enough. No. I think Eliza would be great. Mara would be great. Marlena. Bunch of people from this season. That's the devastating part. Another good cast with another lead.
Yeah.
That's May we call it the Katie Thurston effect?
Yeah.
Perchance. Yeah. Same sort of dealio. Obviously, Clayton's worse. But this was my wild. Dude, Genevieve makes it through to the next week, which felt very weird. And it'll seem even weirder as we continue through the episode.
All right.
He's sitting there being like, okay, I'm the only one left. It hasn't had a one-on-one. Hometowns are next week. We've seen this trope before too.
Yeah.
And it's announced that Susie gets her second one-on-one. And we've seen this season after season, the person who makes it the week before Hometowns without a one-on-one. And it's always just like, well, you may as well take yourself out. Like
for sure, because there's no way anyone's meeting your parents at this point. Like,
how weird would that be?
How weird would it be?
We haven't been on a date
together, let alone now we're going to be meeting your parents.
Yeah,
I'm going to sit down and talk about our experiences so far. You just can't do it. It's an automatic elimination.
And maybe this is like, this is someone who's in a relationship, so isn't like thinking of himself on the show in a realistic sense. Yeah. But in that situation, I might just be like, if he picks someone else over me for a second one-on-one, even though there's another one in that week still available, I might be like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I wasn't even at the top of your mind. Like, what are we doing? You're not even interested enough in the potential of getting to know me.
For sure. And like, as a contestant, why would you want to bring someone like that back to your family? And like, it's something that we talk about too. Like, I think often because of the way the show is structured, we hold like, well, not this season, but like, I think typically we hold whoever the lead is as like this godly figure. And like that, like, hey, it's still a two-way street. I get there's contestants and I get there's a lead, but like, listen,
you got to be a good fit for that.
Exactly. Yeah. They got to win you over as well. So,
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And you know, Jamie said that last year, Michelle's season, he ended up being what I believe to be a borderline pathological liar, like just a nut bar, another nut bar. But
Yeah.
I didn't mind in the moment before we knew the rest, the sentiment of, she's going to be a good match with me,
For
with
sure.
my life too.
For
right?
sure.
And you know, but Genevieve doesn't really, we'll get there. That's not really the route she takes, but we get Susie's one-on-one. You're going to hate this, Coop. It's another shopping spree date like we had on Matt James' season with Rachel.
Yeah.
Always super weird to me. It's just a
bizarre.
weird power dynamic. And we've had this before. We were also watching with another friend who doesn't watch the show. And he found it hilarious how, you know, Susie's saying, I've never had a guy do something like this for me. It's like,
well, because no one can do that.
He didn't book the flight to Austria and then pay. That's not his car.
He's not footing the bill either.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we had Serene go, oh my gosh, I've never had someone rent out a whole pier for me.
Yeah.
What are you taught? Like, again, I like both these girls. It's just a hilarious way to frame it.
And you know what? You still never have.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I wouldn't be taking fashion advice from this dude either. Like, she's like, do you like this one?
Sport jacket.
It's got crow feathers sticking out everywhere. He goes, oh, that one would be great for like a lazy Sunday or something. Like, it's just like you peanut brain, dude. And it was it was a cute date, I guess. Those are always just so weird to me. But
yeah, and like, I don't know. I just feel like they always kind of go, like, those kind of dates always go to a very similar type of contestant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I
think you know what you mean. Like, it's a very like how did someone describe her? Like innocent, and Rachel had the same sort of like, it's almost I don't know. It's weird. It's just a weird power dynamic.
Yeah,
that you're
absolutely.
setting. Yeah, and we'll leave it there. But like, it's. And then, dude, she comes back, and this is always an electric scene. She comes back from the shopping street with 18 bags in her hand. They never come back in the middle of the date normally, or we never see it. But she walks in, she goes, oh, sorry, I got to drop these bags off. And you know that her bedroom is not through the living room. Like, you see she walks into the room with the bags and then walks out the same door to go back into her room. So you know the producers were like, okay, go in and say hi with all 18 of your bags. Then after she goes into her room, she has an Austrian servant come up with another massive dress and be like, oh, sorry, where's Susie's room? Like, bro, don't analyze my Austrian
know where it
accent.
No, I'm not.
I thought you were like, bro, that doesn't even sound Austrian.
I think it added actually to the whole thing.
Dude, like, you know where her room is, and they before they even point, he goes, okay, thank you, and is turning out and going out the room. But yeah, it went well. We did have the creepiest moment in franchise history, though. We have kind of an older gentleman by the name of Chris Duber, just playing the piano. That's our random bachelor. I feel like he might be just a real composer, like kind of a real Austrian artist. But at the end, oh no, he was singing because he's playing the piano. And then at the end, he goes, I love you. Like, whispers it into the mic. It was one of the weirdest.
Was it a lyric?
Dude, it was borderline. Yeah, it was a lyric from a Batman film. I love you. It was the most bone chilling. They were like about to kiss too. All of a sudden, you hear Krista Burke go, I fucking love you. I love both of you. It's just like a bit much, but the date went well.
Oh, that's funny.
But if you think that one's a bad date, Coop, okay, so we move on. Guess what the next date is? Straight up couples therapy. Just couples therapy.
I just don't get. We've talked about this. We talked about it. What are we doing with these dates? How is this fair? That's what I'm saying. How is it fair to have like the polarity of dates?
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. And also, we're in Austria. Like, this is the best utilization of what do they have, the best psychoanalysts? They probably do. I'm probably sounding dumb right now. They probably have like a long history of, like, I don't know, maybe Freud was from Austria or whatever. I don't know, but it seems unnecessary. Like, take advantage of where you are, but also seems especially unnecessary for someone like Genevieve, who hasn't gotten a one-on-one, and now you're doing couples therapy with her. That seems unfair.
That's insane.
Insane.
Like that would be a good second date.
Yes.
Like take Susie on that.
Well,
Like because you already have a
yeah, I know what you mean. But
in theory,
yeah.
'cause you already have a good baseline with her. Also, quick fact check: Sigmund Freud is Austrian, so you know what? They
Okay.
probably have the best.
I guess, yeah, the best
Yeah.
psychoanalyst. So we had to go all the
Yeah.
way there for some couples therapy. It was taking place in a beautiful study, beautiful library, a lot of books.
Probably Freud's.
Probably,
Freud study.
probably. It was probably a green screen. But yeah, so Genevieve pretty much goes in. She's uncomfortable. Clearly, the person goes, "Hey," same thing every time. It's always the worst therapist ever. They look at you and go, "Can you tear your walls down?" They go, "Whoa, what the? What? No, what? Sorry, no. Nice to meet you." And hey, Clayton, nice to meet you too. No, I can't. I don't know either of you.
What kind of questions did they dive into?
Oh, that was pretty much it. Like, why are you so reserved? Why can't you talk about things? Like, blah, 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 blah.
Because like we've never been on a date.
Oh, because I don't really know him that well. And then they kind of just look and they go, maybe like, can we just like talk without this doctor here?
Yeah.
They go talk on the stairs and he goes like, "Sorry, if you can't take your walls down, I gotta go. Or you gotta go." Which I think was too much putting the blame on her. I would have loved to see him be like, "Look," and we've seen this on other seasons. The lead will be like, "Sorry, I didn't really give you a fair chance. Things are moving too fast with other people."
Own up to a little bit,
I would honestly just say
the
like,
classic line of saying like my relationships with other people are developing a lot quicker
developing faster. And I know I'm taking a risk, not even really getting to know you. But unfortunately, that's the journey. It moves so fast. I know I'm taking a risk, and you're great. I hope I just got to pray I'm not making a mistake. But best of luck. But to her credit, she takes it so well. And so we say goodbye to her. Yeah. But this is where also I wish you did see this though. He's rocking a corduroy jacket and a solid crew neck sweater. It was one of his only good looks, especially for a therapy session. Yeah. I think it was a very David look. Like it was very much playing
you
to me.
Go to a lot of therapy.
I go to a lot of therapy. Always rocking the corduroy too. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, wow. And I do have an equally large frame too, as people know. So it felt very natural to me. But yeah, it felt like, and people can let me know if I'm wrong, because now we're getting into an area where it's not like sensitive or anything, but I'm very confused at where at the direction the show went. So Sarah, the last episode you saw, Carson, Sarah probably was in great standing, right?
Yeah. Yep. She was fine.
Last episode, it looked like Mara just randomly said like, "Oh, Sarah's not invested because she's too young," out of nowhere.
Yeah. And
she got the villain sort of at it and it was like, "Oh, okay, Mara's gone." Then it took such a wild editing turn where and this is my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree, but I got whiplash from that edit switch up. All of a sudden, they show Sarah's just saying, I really love therapy. I love what it does. I feel like it helps me understand myself and understand situations, understand how I feel. And they're playing the eerie music behind it. It's like a perfectly valid thing. Like do 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 do. Like it's like, okay, well, some shit's gonna go down now. Like, sure. And she doesn't. And then the girls be like, she loves therapy, which I don't dislike. It was really Teddy pushing it. Don't dislike Teddy, but spoiler alert, Teddy goes home at the rose ceremony. So maybe she wasn't that secure in her relationship, right? So maybe that's what the women do. And here's from last episode, Sarah was the first one to get a second one-on-one. That's why Mara went after her. And so there is a target on her back.
For sure.
And she goes in and this is so bullshit. And later the psychoanalyst says, should they go in? They have a very normal session. Nothing really seems to pop up. And the psychoanalyst says at the end of all the sessions, someone is not being genuine with you. You were just told.
Who the hell are you, dude? Yeah.
Who are you? You don't know what that's not really the job of a therapist.
You're not Freud.
That's not really the job of a therapist to be like, well, someone's lying. I'm qualified to tell you who's lying. It was so bizarre. And so I guess each of the women at the the evening portion of that date used their time to go up to the lane. This includes Rachel, not Susie, and not Serene, because Serene gets a one-on-one, which I'm gonna be honest, love Serene, drafted her. We're not going to talk about it. Was nothing. It went well. She told him she's fallen in love. He didn't say it back, but it went well.
Yeah.
But Serene and Susie are not there. So it's Gabby, who we love, and Rachel. And they were pretty much saying, like, she was so confident that we thought we didn't have a chance and we were going to take ourselves off the show, which we never saw any of that before.
Mhm.
We never saw any of them contemplating, oh, maybe we'll take ourselves off the show, which seems like something the producers would show if that footage existed.
If that happened, yeah.
If that happened at all, and it wasn't just all internal. Oh, you were all going to take yourselves off the show, but you never talked about it publicly.
Never talked about it. We never got
all
it
in the silent understanding. And so Clayton pretty much takes Sarah aside and goes, look, this is what the women are saying, blah, blah, blah. And look, we said it last episode, Sarah's a crier. And so like, she starts explaining herself, and then she gets emotional. And she's saying, like, this is why I didn't want the first one-on-one. I knew this was going to happen. And I knew that, like, essentially also what she's saying is I knew essentially as soon as Shanae was gone, that the girls are going to look for the next villain. Because that's what happens every season.
Every time.
Guys and girls do it. Every time. Who's the
always
next person
be a villain.
target? Yeah, exactly. And that's just the pressure cooker environment. It's not even their fault. But he looks at her right in the eyes and goes, you know, honestly, and this is after weeks of believing Shanae's bullshit. He goes, those seemed like you were trying to muster up fake tears. Dude, I've never seen a Bachelor say that. Like, I guess good for him for finally standing his ground.
But like you just said, though, where was that for 4 weeks, dude?
Like, that's what I mean. Like, what are these left turns?
Yeah, like that just honestly, that kind of pisses me off.
Oh,
like,
dude,
you're such a loser, man.
Like, such a dolt. You're a dolt, man. And she's like, and this look, they maybe looked like she was forcing emotion a bit, but she does say, like, look, I'm all cried out, which was the line where I was like, but
yeah.
No, I don't know. It seemed bullshit.
I understand calling it out. That's fine. But it's like, what's changed over the last few weeks? Like when there was more talk, like when there was actual toxic behavior that affected multiple people in the house, it was like, I don't know, obviously all the mental health stuff that went on that was just terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
crazy.
What was going through your mind then?
The switch up makes no sense, and maybe that's what he was trying. Maybe I think I said this to Gary earlier. Like, I think there's underlying insecurity in terms of, like, hey, remember Sally, the girl who took herself off the show before it started? Shanae was duping him. Cassidy was duping him. Like, he's probably paranoid, but he pretty much says, like, no, not pretty much. He literally says, look, I straight up I just don't believe you. I don't believe this is true. I don't believe that you're sad. I don't believe any of this. And she's like totally taken aback. He sends her home. So on one group date, he sends home 2 women. We're at the rose ceremony, and like he just has to send home Teddy. So now for our hometowns, we've got Sierra, Susie, Rachel, and Gabby. I believe that's it. A strong final 4. A very strong final 4.
I got 2 in the final 4.
Uh-oh. And Gary's got no one, right?
Right.
I don't think anyone picked Rachel.
No,
I got Serene, who I do not think he ends up with.
You got Serene, and I got Gabby and
well, honestly, I'll tell you this right now. I don't think anyone's winning.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say, I don't think
there's no way he ends up with anybody. But dude, it was so I'm very interested. I want to hear people's thoughts below, because I don't know. Maybe I'm completely like getting duped but I love it. Sarah, very classy, just posted like a photo of, I don't know, like some candles or whatever. It wasn't of her, just posted a photo and said, all I'll say is good luck to whoever gets the second one-on-one first next season. Like, yeah, fair enough. You got railroaded. And she was saying, like, I'm equally hurt because I thought those were my friends in there. Like, there's only 6 of us left right now, including Teddy. Like, what's going on? So I don't know. It seemed just ridiculous. We go to the rose ceremony and Teddy goes home. Last takeaway from there. First impression roses are just not what they used to be.
Not what they used to be.
They're not, dude. They're not. Ever since Matt James ruined the first impression rose. I love him, but Abigail meant nothing relationship. Don't know who Katie gave it to, but she's with someone she sent home week 2 now, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't know who
I think she gave it to Greg. probably.
Oh, she did. 100% she did.
Yeah, and Nate got us. So maybe they're back. But not with Teddy. Unfortunately, they just had a bit of a roadblock. But that being said, yeah, do you want to, from what you've heard this episode, you want to pick out a rose and a thorn? I can go first.
Yeah,
you can,
sure.
you
You go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go first, and we'll start on a negative and on a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go specific, but I'm gonna go the shopping spree dates. I think I'm done with the shopping spree dates. Yeah, get them out of here. Don't need to see them anymore. Like, obviously, there was this whole season could be a thorn, but I'm gonna stick it to one. Go ahead, Coop.
Yeah. Mine's going to be what we just talked about. It's going to be the Clayton switch up. Like, I applaud him for finally doing it, but like, I think I can agree, or everyone, in the universe could probably agree with us in saying that, like, this needed to begin weeks ago. When
this also shows
very detrimental to the people on the show.
Totally. And it kind of shows to me that he would, as a person, does not know himself well enough to be the lead of a show.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's flip-flopping. He's like, what approach am I going to take? What's my value to these women? How do I trust people? How do I build like a strong, trusting foundation in relationships? Those are all questions that you should know the answer to before courting 30 women to be your wife. Like, you can't flip-flop on your approach to relationships week to week, man. You're not really going to build something consistent. So let's end on a positive, though. There's gotta be something. I'll kick it off first. I'm just gonna go with Serene keeping my hopes alive. It was a really sweet date. I do think they have potential. I think she's way too mature for him.
Well, yeah, I think most are.
All of them are.
Yeah, most are far from him. My rose is gonna go to, and you know what? I'm doing this kind of blindly because I haven't physically seen it, but the way you explained it, I'm gonna go with Clayton's outfit.
Dude, look it up.
I'm going to right now. Yeah.
You should be able to see it in the Sarah scene. So that'll be everywhere. But yeah, it's I liked it. I think it worked for him. I think brown's a good color on him. I think it looks far better on him than black. Wearing a black suit kind of makes him look like a used car salesman. So embrace that Missouri
who's bodybuilding on the side.
Tones. Yeah, exactly. That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We always appreciate it. Rate, review, subscribe, I guess. I mean, there's really no point to subscribe, but you could rate, you can share with friends if you want to grind through the rest of this absurd season with us. Other than that, shout out to Ruth and everyone else who stuck by us so loyally over the past several years now. Holy smokes. And remember, a wet bird never flies at night. Thank you. And peace.